Hi everyone, welcome to Ignite Website Marketing. My name is Robert, and today I want to talk about some elements of website design that will help you have a better website and create user engagement. But before I go into the show, please subscribe below because I'm going to be coming out with a lot of great content this year that will help you out with your website design, online marketing strategy, SEO, and digital marketing. So you're not going to want to miss out on the stuff I have. And plus, I live stream now once a week. And so when I do these live streams, I'd like for you guys to participate on these live streams, and I can, whatever it is I'm talking about, I can help you out when it comes to your website. I know you just saw my dog in the background there. She's been trying to get into the frame all day today, and she succeeded. So yeah, let's get rolling here. So what are some of the principles to web design elements to consider when creating a website? Here are a few of them. So you want to add some contrast in your website design. So what do I mean by contrast? So you don't want to use the same fonts, or if you're using the same fonts, the same font weights throughout your website. And it's the same with the colors. You don't want to just keep the website one color. You want to use multiple color. Well, I would say colors, contrasting colors, not multiple colors, but more than one color on your website, because that is gonna just kind of engage the visitor to your website. If you don't have anything that draws like if you don't use like contrast on your website, certain elements that like your photos, text, headlines, they're just not going to stand out to the user the user who's visiting your website, and it's just going to be confusing for them to process the information as they're going through your website. So you want to apply contrast, so maybe if you're considering doing a header, and say you like a certain font and you don't want to use two fonts that work well but contrast, are kind of contrasting, and your headlines, make them bold and make the font sizes like a little bigger within the body of the paragraph, maybe make the font size a little like normal or light font weight, just to give some contrast so the eye can distinguish the information that's on the website. I normally will do, for a main headline, I like to do the bold font, make it really big, and then a subheader, maybe make it italic and everything below the subheader, just to kind of give some contrast into the website design. And this can also go with the colors. Like when you're working on a website, you want to figure out, okay, which contrasting colors are going to work well together. If you maybe you should, what I normally do when I'm trying to find good contrasting colors is I kind of Google some samples of different color palettes and everything, and pick the best 2 or 3 colors that I think are really going to blend in with the color. Now, if you already have a logo for your website and it has maybe a few colors on the logo, you can implement that into the website design and maybe find one color that's just going to really make everything pop, those 2 other colors. And mainly when I'm using color, I use it maybe in the, definitely in the menu bar sometimes, and then I'll probably do another area where I'll do another color with the 2 other colors. So if I have a slide and text area, I'll probably just put a text, one area, and then do a slide in another area, and I can contrast those colors implement maybe the brand colors into the website, which is really going to help out with your contrast when it comes to your color. And the same kind of goes for different header sizes too. You can, on your main headers that you really want to pop, you want to use your H2 tags which will kind of give her the bigger font, but you can always resize that using HTML. But you want to use other, like maybe smaller headers are going to point out other like details, like you want to kind of use a smaller header font. And then also when you're doing your bullet points, or you're doing anything where you're doing a feature, you have a snippet of information that you want featured on a particular paragraph, you can bold that a bit or use some sort of italics just to make that stick out, because when readers go reading your website and they see like something like a piece of information that maybe is highlighted or italics, they're going to think, wow, maybe this is like something important, and I really gotta read this part. So you can do some contrast and stuff like within the body of the text and everything, and in your headlines. So those are just some ideas with just using contrast throughout the web design. Also, like, try to make your website on your home page and your other pages easy for your readers when they click on your site. You don't want to just like compact your website with lots of information about this and that, because you're just really the visitor's eye is just going to be all over the place. And we're not going to read a lot of information, so I would like keep your website information to a minimum. And yet there's like this whole concept of a minimalist website, which is just making it simple. Just point out some of the key features of your product or your service, and then just do like a short story mixed with like a call to action that's going to grab the user's attention when they're reading the information and get them to act. And so you can probably get an email out of them, or you can get them to call your business. Whatever it is you want to do, just try to figure it out that way. So yeah, just keep everything to like a very minimum. Don't just try to add like essential information. You may just want to take some time when you're, say you got all this information, you're just like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. You just want to like take some time to kind of go through that information, just kind of highlight what's important. So like when someone lands on your homepage and they say, hey, this has got to pop. What information do you want them to know about your service or blog? What are the highlights? What are the perks? You can just list a few things. Don't like overdo the information. This was a common problem that I've seen in a lot of websites. Some people think they got to have like all this information on here and there, but you can compact it. You can create different services pages. Say you offer a lot of services, but you can just list everything in bullets and then have a separate page for someone to like click on when they are just kind of scrolling through the services, that goes into a little bit more detail, not too much information, and then followed by a call to action. And but you just want to think simple, like when you're doing like putting down your website information. The same with your adding images. You want to just keep it simple as far as like, don't put images like here and there, because you just need to be simple. If you add too much stuff, the person who visits your website is going to be like, oh my God, and then they're going to like click off the website and go with a competitor's website because it's just more easier to navigate. So that's something you want to consider when designing a website, or if you plan to do yourself. It's just to kind of keep everything to a minimum. Just make it very simple. Just picture this. Like if I were to go to, just picture like, so if someone were to visit my site, or if I were visiting my site, how can I make this simple, informative, and make the visitor who clicks to my website to call, do a call to action or send me an email? So just think about it that way when putting out the information on your website. Another element I want to share with you too is that I think is very important is this the fonts that you decide to choose for your websites. You could use this one font and do a bolder and lighter version of it, but I like to do more different, find good fonts that like fit well together. So I don't really like to do two or three fonts for a website. I don't like to overdo it, but consider like, okay, what font do you want to have that for in your font style, so that kind of represents your brand. Like there's a lot of fonts out there, and not all of them are good, and but you just want, okay, if you were to go on other websites, you could see like the variations of fonts. And if you Google too, like another thing I recommend I do too, if you're just kind of wanting to get some ideas for some fonts, you can Google different, like just put in the Google search engine, different font variations, and it will show you like some fonts that go well together, and figure out like which would be the right font for your website. That way, it doesn't go way too off like your brand image, but I try to consider like, okay, what type of website am I doing? If I have a business website, I'm not going to use fonts that look like, from ancient times or anything, or have like a really, curved text. I'm going to use like simple fonts that just are more business-like and going to make my website seem more professional when someone goes to that. But if you're doing like a blog or something and you want to just kind of add like a particular type of like exotic font to the head, for your header fonts, then you can do that as long as it matches kind of like the theme of your blog or website, whatever it is you're doing. So definitely, font is another important element of website design. So I hope you guys found some value from this. I'm actually going to put together a more longer stream that goes more into this topic, because there's so much that could be covered like with website design elements. And I really want to help you guys understand what's important, what for your website, when you're considering building a website, or if you're website designer and you're trying to learn website. I want to give you guys some important web design elements to consider when putting together a website. So I'll do that in a later stream. So be sure to subscribe below. And so when I do that, like you'll get like a notification. Oh yeah, that's right. When you subscribe, hit the bell too, because that's the only way you'll get the notification. So definitely do that, and I will be putting together that video for you in the future. So if you like what you saw today, hit me a like, and remember to subscribe below. Hit the notification button to get some notifications, and I will see you all later. Thank you very much.